Yo, what's up, everyone? So today we're talking about, a lot of my philosophies and my core beliefs in marriage. They come from they're biblically based, and I've been doing them since I got married at 19. However, when I was 19 or 20 or 21 or whatever, like they seem naive. They seem naive a little bit. Like people look at you and they say, "Hey, that's great. That's cool." I had those philosophies once, philosophies of humility and leadership, and that the man is kind of the head of the household, and you're to cherish your wife with non-conditional love, agape love. Like you're like so those sound great. Those sound amazing, but you're 19, so you're going to find out how it actually works. It's like when they train you, I would imagine, like they train you on something like I will talk about the trades. They train you how to do something by the book, and then you show up on the job and the foreman's like, sweet, so everything you learned, we're going to show you how we actually end up doing this on the job. So I think a lot of people believed that, and they thought that, and I know for a fact they did. They wish you good luck, and in the back of the mind, they're like, yeah, you know what? Well, we'll see how far that actually goes, or they'll find out just how miserable marriage is down the way. I've been doing the same things. I've had the same beliefs and kind of core values and my pillars of how I wanted my marriage to run and how I was going to treat Amanda and how I expected her to treat me since I was 19. The difference is now that we've got it's 13 years now under our belt. They're like, oh well, you've kind of beat the odds a little bit. Granted, we still have decades to go. Like I'm well aware of that we still got like a third kid on the way, and then they're going to be teenagers, and so you get that whole attitude involved. I get that, but so long as you have the mindset of like, oh, it's going to be cool until this condition comes along, like you will always be your actions, your beliefs, your the way you conduct yourself shouldn't be conditional. It shouldn't be based upon, well, we'll see what happens, we'll take it as it goes. Admittedly, I do some things like that. I was like, whatever. I mean, like, I'm going on a road trip, I'll figure stuff out. I'm sure it's not going to be in the wilderness of Canada. Like there's going to be stores there we can kind of figure some things out. You can't run your marriage like that though, and you can't. And I believe a lot of people, they're running their marriage. They're conducting themselves shit in life. In life, they're conducting themselves based on emotionally how they feel. So we have I'm just in so many marriage groups. I need to leave about half of them because they're less constructive criticism and feedback and help, and more just kind of complaining groups. Like that's just where you go. They're just vent groups. And but people, like, they're managing themselves based on their emotions, and so you can't do that. You need to have a code. You need to have a code, or a set guideline of how you're going to conduct yourselves, how you guys like to be. We call this expectations. This is expectations I have, like, that we talk about in all of the elite husband program. Like that has to be done, and it's going to be different for each couple. Like the way I vacation, I don't really like to vacation. But if I'm on a vacation, we're gonna be doing stuff. We're gonna be training jujitsu. We're gonna be like walking. I'm not gonna be lounging on a pool, sipping cocktails for 24 hours and just watching my insulin levels rise and then come back and have to undo all that work. I will not do that. Like that's not how I vacation. We're gonna do something active. How you fight. There are like rules of fighting. Like those need to be kind of determined ahead of time. Who's expected to make the money? Both of you, one of you, none of you? You're gonna just live on government aid? Like who's expected to make the money? And then talk about kids, talk about how frequently you want to have sex. Both parties, those are going to be two different answers, right? Usually. And so talking about those things, like I've talked about these, had these same beliefs since I was 19. And I think when I was 19 or 20 or 21, I was younger, people didn't give a lot of credence to it. They didn't give a lot of credence. They're like, well, that's great, whatever, that's fine. But then a switch is starting to happen a little bit. Now I'm seeing adults of 40, 45, 50 violating these principal kind of guidelines. And they're like, well, I just got sick of it. I have my personal favorite. I fell out of love. You don't get to choose to fall out of love, right? Like it's like, what's bizarre to me is I have a business partner, And there are a lot of similarities to being married as there are to a business partner. I mean, you set the expectations. There's of different roles and what I'm responsible for and he's responsible for. And then we talk about like kind of the vision of where the company's going, just like you should talk about the vision of your family, where they're going. And people will bail on a marriage before they'll bail on a business partnership because there's a lot more. There appears to be a lot more consequences, and I don't understand that. I won't understand that. Now, we're not going to talk about divorce laws because I know very little about them. To be honest with you, that's one thing that never really made sense for me to learn because I don't need to know that. Like, I don't plan on getting divorced, and so that is going to be pretty crucial when we talk about partnership. You have to be committed for the long haul, and it cannot be based upon how you're feeling that day or that week. Now, I'm not going to disregard emotions. Emotions are real, right? The emotions are real, but why do we have the emotions that we do? Because emotions are very real. Like I made a video a couple days back. You can't tell someone how they're feeling. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. That's like a rule we have with Amanda and I. I can't tell her you're not upset about that. She may be upset about that. I can try and tell her she has no reason to be, but that also goes over like a lead balloon. So now I need to find out, why does she have the emotions that she does? Why is she feeling? Why am I feeling a certain way? Like I'm not exempt. I'll get upset. I'll get agitated over the dumbest things. But managing those emotions, saying, okay, well, I'm blowing that out of proportion, and it's to the point that like I ask Amanda a lot. It's like, am I blowing this out? Am I making a big deal about this? And she'll say yes or no, or well, there's valid to it. But so these same things have been going on. Same things have been happening since I was 19. The question is, what core values, what belief system are you running your marriage on? If you don't have one and it's based upon how you feel that day or that week or that month, well, people change. And I definitely have different values and priorities now than I do when I was 19. One constant, ironically, is jujitsu. Another is Christ and the Bible and my faith. Outside of that, like I have zero tolerance for time wasters. I have zero tolerance for people that are just going to they display toxic or manipulative or destructive shit, even to just not productive behavior. Like I won't let that around my family. I don't get a lot of invites places, but that's okay. I don't need to. My wife and my family and my kids are enough. So that's the question, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Let me know. I'm hoping this audio is working. Podcast, I got a lot of great feedback last time. We will get you next time. Let me know. Comment below. Make sure comment below. Make sure the audio is working great. And we'll catch you on the next video. Stay tuned. If you're on our YouTube, stay tuned. We're going to be launching this Elite Husband podcast very soon.